Well, so I would like to pause right now and just say thank you for an incredible 3 days. I am going to go on and talk about the May event, but as this is an optional thing to move forward to, if you don't want to stay, you're so welcome to not stay. You can leave with that love and that relaxed body and head off. But if you're in any way curious about what we're doing in May and what I can tell you about it, then do stay and see what you think. There's no rush to decide. Doors don't open till the 1st of May, which is not yet. That's next week, isn't it? And doors are open for a week, so from the 1st of May to the 8th. So you've got time to hear this today and then check out information. I'll be sending emails. Get in touch if you want a separate call to check if it's for you. Loads of options to help you decide if it's something you're interested in. So if I just stand back for a moment and give the bigger context of this whole program, and then we'll dive into the May piece. So this whole program came a bit like I said before about the book being a download. This whole program is a download as well. It just appeared in my system and was like, oh, this is amazing. And literally in like 30 seconds, it felt like wrote the whole thing out on a couple of sides of A4, and it's like, this is going to be incredible. And I could already see the people I wanted to invite to it, or at least half of them. And it all shaped up into this incredible, what's now become a 9-month program. So we had a 3-day summit in January with all the same experts at the summit, 4 of them speaking each day for the 3 days. And then in February, we started this 9-month program where we have 6 themes. So we start with Make It Visible, which is the, like we did at the beginning of day 1, what even is going on here that I can enlighten? What even is happening in my experience that I could be relieved of, alleviated of, released from? So we started with Make It Visible in February. Then in March, we moved into Psychological Enlightenment. April, we're still in, just finishing Emotional Enlightenment. May, we're going to be moving into Physical Enlightenment. June, Spiritual. And then July is Holistic Enlightenment. So things which couldn't be categorized in any of those previous 5 and which really encompass the whole thing. Like they couldn't be separated into anything else. So we've got these 6 themes that we're moving through. And then after July, so August, there's a whole bunch of space for integration with a couple of calls. September and halfway through October, we then go back into each of the 6 themes with a recap, a reconnection. I don't know about you, I've been on so many programs where I do things and I'm like, completely forget them and don't do anything with them. So the purpose of that September to halfway through October piece is to reconnect to everything and go, oh yeah, that's what we did in February. Oh my God, it's like a lifetime ago by that point. So it's a chance to bring back to mind the stuff that you may want to emphasize at that particular point in your life. Culminating in end of October, a celebration call to go, yay, what an amazing 9 months. And so far it has been amazing. Katie, I think you're the only one here tonight who's in it, if there is anything you want to share about it. But, oh, sorry, Karen as well. You're in it, of course.
Say, and Karen, yeah.
It's because our screen's off. I was like not paying attention to the words. So, yeah, certainly from my perspective, what I'm hearing from people is that it's been and continues to be an incredible journey where each month with its theme is really a journey all on its own. So some people are doing the full program. Some people are coming in for the months that they want to do. And that's cool because each month on its own is complete in itself. It's a complete journey in itself. Because each month we start with me with an opening call where, like for this program, for this 3 days, we started with that on Monday where I set the context. I kind of set the ground of where we're going and why we're going there. Then we have the week after, we have expert 1 and then expert 2 the week after that. So they come in with a deeper dive, with a practical workshop, bringing their unique way, their unique modality and their unique approach. And it's been that's been one of the delights of this. And Katie, actually always remember that you fed back after the even just the summit, saying how incredible that all these amazing women are talking about the same thing and pointing us all in the same direction, but in such beautifully unique ways, and with all these different tools, techniques, modalities. So that means that weeks 2 and 3 you get the 2 experts for that particular month, and then week 4 we have a closing Q&A call where it's open agenda, over to you and whatever you want to share and ask from the month. And then it was actually in February I spontaneously also put in an energy transmission at the end of the month to support the integration process, and that's now become a regular feature. So me and Imogen and Nikki Drew are taking turns at the end of every month to offer an integrating transmission, so that whether you're ending that month at that point or whether you're going to move into the next month, it provides a pause point to bring all the energies together and let them, or support them in their mingling and merging and releasing and whatever else they want to be doing. And we just help that process ease through into, like I say, either back into your life or into the next month of the journey. So this month for May, for physical, we've got an amazing lady, Emily Phillips, who helps us express the body with sound. So we're so used to using words, but she helps us express the body just using the sound that the body wants to make. So given we've been talking tonight about communication and the body being a communication tool, it's a way of helping the body express, because the body hasn't really got language. You know, we have those moments where we're like, oh, there's something going on, but I don't know how to articulate it, I don't know how to say it. And so she's going to help translate whatever's been made visible at the start of her session into an expression of sound, which lets the body be heard. It allows the body to be expressed in a way that it resonates with. Now, I've not done one of Emily's sessions, but I know people who have and who have raved about them for the safety that she creates, for the environment she creates, the kind of relaxedness that you're experiencing today. You know, I hear that that's the kind of experience you get when you're in a session with Emily, fully held, fully safe, and able to do this expression, including people who previously would have thought, oh, this is going to be too much, terrifying, I'm too self-conscious. It's not been like that at all for them. It's been incredible, and really helped. You know, so much of what we've been talking about this week is this movement, this this expression in all these different ways, helping the system return to that flow, helping the system return to that movement. And sound, making the sound of the body is one of the ways to do that. Get the energy moving, like your fire last night, Katerina. Help the energy get back into its natural flow. So that's what we're going to have in week 2 with Emily, helping us deepen into communication with the body in that way. Then in week 3, and you just made me think of this, Gemma, when you were saying about you're feeling like the body needs some light and some air. So in week 3, we're going to have Anna Sagar, who's doing embodying breathwork. And I know that people who came to the summit will be bored of me hearing, potentially, how excited I was to discover there was such a thing as breathwork that brings you into the body rather than tries to get you escape into that transcendental space. And that's very much what Anna's bringing to us for the 3rd week of the programme. So that, we breathe that light and love and air into the body, again, creating space, creating movement, bringing presence and attention to parts that we can't reach through a body scan, but air can reach. And in a way that brings us into the body. So again, as we've been talking about, you know, if we've been afraid of the body, if we've escaped it, rejected it in various ways, this month is going to be helping us really come back into it. So another way of bringing love into the system, another way of bringing ourselves back into the system, into that physical system, in a way that feels, in fact, she said sometimes it can feel grounding, sometimes it can feel lightening and expansive, but she says every single time it'll do exactly what you need it to do on that particular day. And so she'll be teaching some some breathwork practices that you can use then in your life at any time. And then we close. We have the following week, week 4, the closing Q&A before the integrating transmission. And all the way in between that, because it's in a community space, there's the opportunity to ask questions and share. All the experts are all in there as well, same as me. So we're able to stay in connection and communication throughout the whole month with whatever's going on and move through it together. So yeah, so far, and I did expect May to be exactly the same, it's been a beautiful unfolding journey with every month. The way it happened to work out, you know, in terms of which speakers could come and which dates they could do, and it's ended up being, well, of course it ended up being that, because that's the perfect order for things to happen. It's the perfect way for like Karen was saying about the TRE we've had for April. It was the perfect thing to have as the first expert for April, so that emotions were moving more, so that our next call with Alona could be meeting those emotions. So same with Emily and Anna. We'll be making visible what's going on, giving it voice, and then breathing some love and light into that system. So I'm very much looking forward to it, as I have done with every other month before now. What's that sounding like? Is there anything that's prompting for you in questions? As I said, Karen and Katie, is there anything you guys want to share from your experience? All is welcome.
Yeah, I just want to say that I'm a very very head person, and I started off very much in my head, and but it feels like the whole river to me. It feels like I am being carried down the river, gently being kind of moved away from my head to other places, that being invited to sort of look in different places that are not a head place, and I'm not doing that, right? It's just like I'm on this journey, and I'm being carried by the river to explore places probably that I've not wanted to explore. But at the same time, I feel sort of it's a very friendly river, you know, it's nothing hostile about it. And yeah, all the women are absolutely incredible, and the energy that everybody brings is so kind and so loving and so gentle. That's my experience so far anyway.
Beautiful. Thank you, Katie. Yeah. A lot of people said to me, did you do that on purpose? Did you get 12 women on purpose for both the summit and the event? I was like, really, no. It was literally, there was such a strong sense of the kind of energy this was meant to be. And so everybody I met, it was like, that was my test point. Do you match that energy or do you not? And so, yeah, so I really, really love that it feels like that, because it was an amazing guiding vibe for the whole thing. Yeah.
And also, it's a very holding space, right? It's like the weeks just flow by, and it's like, oh, you know, the next and the next and the next. So it's kind of seamless. That's how it feels. It's like,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice, thank you. Yeah, you've got a little bit of space now, some integration space. Just as important as the calls. Yeah, Karen.
Yeah, I was just going to say that that coming up to now, well, there's a little bit of a break. It's like, yes, I need, you know, it's actually right. You need that, and it's just at the exactly right place, which I assume was planned, because it's
Not really, no.
Oh, really?
Again, well, not by Helen, by life,
No.
probably,
Oh,
but
right.
yeah, not by Helen. Yeah.
Oh, but it's well, for me, I'm finding it exactly the right time.
Yeah.
And I agree with everything Katie said. It has felt like you're being. I felt exactly the same. That it's sort of the way it leads on is it's just amazing. And I know that I've had a question following on from TRE that worked with next month's. And well, Anna and Emily both answered the question alongside. It was a TRE one, but it fell into their areas too. And so you can see how it's just going to go straight into next month, exactly the same as it has. Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah,
It truly is brilliant.
thank you, Karen. Yeah, it's been fascinating watching that each month as people have worked through the psychological, for example, and then the recognition came up of like, oh, but neither of these feelings. It's like, well, perfect, because we're about to go into feelings and emotions. And then, yeah, like you say, Karen, at the end of feelings and emotions, now some questions start coming up about the physical. So yeah, it's super cool, super cool. Anybody got questions who's not been part of it from everything you've heard, or anything you're wondering about it? Looks like you have, Katrina, yeah.
My screen's not reacting. Is there one call with, for example, Anna and Emily?
So one each. So yeah, so the call, those first 3 calls are 90 minutes. One with me, then it'll be one with Emily, then one with Anna, a week apart, and then an hour-long Q&A a week after that. Yeah.
And transmission, is that an extra call or? Yeah.
It is, yeah. So all of these are calls and they are recorded so you can access them anytime as well. So the transmissions are half an hour for that in between before we move into the next month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When the summit was, I think all of the guest speakers offered something, and
Yeah.
I did the call with Emily.
Oh, did you? Great.
I was blown away. It was
Oh,
so good and so amazing. I loved it. And I've also met with Heather. She is up in July, isn't she?
she is
Yeah.
in July, yeah.
Yeah. Also beautiful.
Oh, so glad, Katerina.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you join as well, you still get access. You get access to the summit as well, including all of those free gifts that are still. Well, actually, yeah, Emily's done hers, so you can't do hers anymore. But most people's gifts are still available: PDFs and books and downloads and meditations, all sorts of things, and all of that's included when you join the main event. So yeah, there's loads of good stuff in there. Yeah. Yeah, it was one of the really lovely things actually with the summit when we were talking as a group about what do we do about the free gifts. Normally with summits like that, people say you've got 7 days to get your free gift, obviously to try and drive numbers into email lists and that kind of thing. And we were like, do you know what? We just want to make these gifts available, full stop. So no matter at what point people come into the event, the summit's still available, the free gifts are still available. It's all still there. So I really love that. Any other questions? I can talk a little bit about the financial aspect if that's useful. Yeah. So for the money part, it's like a monthly membership. So basically when you pay to join, you'll then have a repeat payment the next month unless you cancel. So your responsibility is, do I want to stay or do I not? And then cancel if you're not going to stay before your repayment point. Makes it super easy if you do stay because it just happens. And there are 3 different payment options. We started off with 2, so we started off with 333 as the main price per month. And if people were in the Wild Fig community with me, then they would get a price of 177. So the bonus, because my members are wonderful and do a lot of stuff with me, and I give them all sorts of bonuses and freebies. So this was one of those many bonuses and freebies of having access to the main event for 177 a month. And then last month, in fact the tail end of the month before, but particularly for last month, we introduced a 3rd pricing level because we were hearing from a lot of people that they wanted to join, that were committed to joining and doing the work, but they just couldn't afford either of those 2 prices. So last month we also introduced a price of 87 per month because we care more about people accessing this than maintaining a certain pricing level. We wanted to give that flexibility that people could choose. And in fact, one member joined on 333 and then he was like, I can't afford to stay on 333, but he's staying on 87. So you've got that flexibility as well, that you can you can move around and pay whatever you like, basically. No matter what you pay, you get the same service, you get the same access, you get all the same content, the same recordings, the same everything. It is purely a differentiator in terms of what can I and what do I want to pay for this. And it's up to you. There's no questions, there's no discussion. It's just, what do you want to pay? Do you want to be 333? Do you want to join the community and get 177? Or do you want to pay 87? Totally, totally up to you. So you pick what's right, you pick what feels good for you. As I say, always with the option to change if you want to change in a future month. But hopefully, therefore, giving everybody lots of flexibility and to be able to join in the way that works for them. Does that make sense in terms of how that all works? Yeah. So what happens is that as I start sharing about it on the 1st of the month, at least for the 1st of May, it's different every month, but this month, 1st of May, on my emails, then I'll be starting to share the payment links. They're on the website page. Let me just drop that in. Think about that before. So at the minute, when you go in there, you'll see that it says, you cannot come in, the doors are not open. From the 1st of, that was not the right person. Somehow I was going to send that to the waiting room. I didn't even know you could send messages to the waiting room. That's exciting. So that website page has all the information on it. When it goes live on the 1st, then your payment links will be available in there. You can currently sign up to the newsletter, but I think you'll all be on the newsletter now anyway, from either already or from having been in this 3 days. You've also got a button on there saying find out about the Wild Food community. So if you're interested in the community and then getting the 177 price, that's how you can find out about the community, through that link there. Community members can also pay 87. That's also available. Also on that page, let me just quickly show on my screen, because this is quite handy. So loads of information about May, who it's for generally, when the doors are opening, what you get, and what people think. And then down here, your personal event planner. So if you click on that, it's got the full plan for the whole program. So you can see what's coming in May. These times are actually wrong. These are 11 till 12:30, but we're getting that updated. This is going to be 6:30 for the final call, but you can use this planner then to see when everything is, so that if you can and do want to make them live, then you've got the schedule there before you click to join. Just a handy little guide if you want to look and see when everything is before you actually jump in. Yeah, we're over time. I've seen Karen rubbing your eyes and stretching there. Almost bedtime. So we'll move into close now. Let me just do one more check. Is there anything anybody wants to ask? Thank you, Kimberly. Anything you want to know? Obviously, you can drop me an email, get in touch on any of my social media, wherever you want to find me. And I want to say a huge thank you again to all of you here, everybody else who's been on calls previously and hasn't been able to make tonight, everybody who's been watching the recordings. Huge thank you. It's been an amazing 3 days. I feel like we've been here for about 10. Do you? Like, I feel like we've covered so much in 3 days. Yeah. Quite phenomenal. And thank you so much for everything you guys have all brought, all your sharings, all your questions, because it really is super boring without you doing that. But really, yeah, it adds so much value. So it brings out all the useful bits and pieces of information that really make it, and the examples that help us all connect and go, oh yeah, that. Totally that. So thank you. Lovely to meet those of you who I've not met before. Lovely to see those of you who I already know and love. and see you somewhere soon. All right. Take good care.
Thank you, Helen.
Big love, everyone. Bye.